What's up, Aries? How are you guys doing? It is time for your weekly check-in. We're going to see how these energies are looking for y'all in the first week of March. I know I'm a little early on this, but I want to get back to doing the weekly check-ins again. March week 1 for Aries. It's a weekly check-in, so it's just a short, quick, general, energetic overview. If any of you are in need of a personal reading, the information is down here in the description of this video. Most people prefer my general personal readings. Probably just because they're so cheap, but they're quick, easy, to the point. You ain't got to ask me nothing. You ain't got to tell me nothing if you don't want to. You can, but all you have to really do is click what you want me to read and I'll do the rest. Very quick, easy, to the point, and very cost effective. But I do offer a lot more than that. I offer Zoom calls, full personal readings. All the information's in the description. All right, hang on. I'm trying to find a deck that'll talk to me. Hang on. Let me try one more. All right, there it is. Okay, cool. All right, let's see how these energies are looking between Aries and the person they're dealing with. First week of March. What's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning in. How these energies looking between Aries and the person they're dealing with in the first week of March. Woo, 8 of Cups reversed. Okay. All right, so, I do think that this individual you're dealing with here is trying to get your attention. And I have 2 cards for that here. We got the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles, but see, with the Ace of Swords reversed, they're trying to get your attention because they don't know how to approach you, you know? Neither of you are showing each other any emotion, but I think both of y'all have feelings for each other. Is this like a silent standoff? Is that what this is? Holding back. Some of you dealing with a Leo. It feels like y'all are, I almost want to say mirroring each other, is what this kind of feels like. You know, the way this person sees you, you don't look like you give 2 diddly shits. But there's a real strong connection here. Yes, they feel it too. No, you're not crazy. You're not making it up in your head. There's a really strong sensation of unfinished business here. But ain't nobody doing nothing about it. Nobody is taking action to extinguish the flames in the tower. It continues to burn to the ground, man. So, all right, we're kind of going in circles here now. Both of y'all are guarded towards each other. Let's see what signs I have on the table here. I have Gemini, Libra, Leo. Actually, for once, not a bad list of combinations. Not horrible. Well, Libra is your opposite, though. So that's a little questionable. I do see that combination fairly frequently. Anyway, let's see this person's intentions towards you. What are their deepest intentions? Do they mean well? Do they love you? Do they miss you? Do they want to be with you? King of Cups, yeah, they love you, absolutely. 2 more shuffles, 2 more. Page of Cups. It feels to me like this person has a hell of a lot of feelings for you. They are still kind of holding a grudge. They're holding on to some resentment over whatever happened in the past. And there's the Tower again. Now, in this deck, for some strange reason, the Tower is very intact and beautiful looking. Not quite sure why. That's not what the Tower card means, but maybe that could. Now, I'm not the type of person to read different decks differently. right? I mean, I read no matter what the deck is, I read it like the Rider-Waite. Even those stupid ass decks that has the Tower card as a goddamn flower in a field, you know? If it says the Tower, I read it the way the Tower is in the Rider-Waite. But I guess it could signify they would like to rebuild the Tower. I guess it could. But they're not taking any action towards it. And it's probably because they don't want the conflict or the confrontation that would come along with it. This is weighing them down a lot more than you know, but they don't want you to know. Now, here's the question. Now, this is a very common message. I see this come through all the time. You've probably heard me say this a million times. But even if you've heard me say this before, there's something else you usually hear me say with it, and that is why. Why they don't want you to know. Why they aren't comfortable showing you their feelings. Why they don't want you to know how they feel. It's usually one of two reasons. Either A, they just got a big ego and they don't want to appear weak and vulnerable, or B, they don't trust you with how they feel. And they're afraid you might use their feelings against them. Now, usually it indicates one or the other. It's not indicating either of them here. So I guess it could just, depending on who you are, take your pick. They got a big ego, or maybe they don't trust you. I don't know. Could be either one. But, I mean, honestly, like I said, there's that Nine of Pentacles again. I think you do intimidate the shit out of them. I think so. So they're trying to intimidate you back. Putting on a show for you, you know? Goddamn dog, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. We got a King of Cups, an Ace of Cups, and a Knight of Cups. That indicates really intense feelings. All right, well, let's get the advice then. I'm nervous about this advice. I'm nervous about that, I ain't gonna lie. What advice do we have for Aries? King of Cups again. Two more. Three of Swords, Seven of Cups reverse. Well, if you are wanting communication anytime soon, it's probably going to have to be you that initiates it. If you are wanting a reconciliation attempt, it's probably going to have to be you that initiates it. But let's go back to what I was talking about a minute ago, where they're afraid to show you how they feel. Again, the question is why? Why would they be afraid to show you that? Either A, they don't want to appear weak and vulnerable, or B, they don't trust you. Now, the question is, where do they get the idea that they can't trust you? No matter which one it is, they're projecting. So if they're going into it with that mentality, you have to understand that they're going to immediately be guarded. And no matter what their feelings are, they're going to have an immediate propensity to want to wrestle the power into their hands so that they have the upper hand. You know, so you're going to want to be cautious of that if you do this. Now, if I was you, I would focus on healing from this shit first. I would not bring my still broken self back to this person. Even if they had the best intentions in the world. Even if they did, I would not bring my broken self back to this connection if I was you. Because you're almost guaranteed to repeat the cycle, no matter what your all's intentions are. But if both of you can successfully bring the right energy back to the table, reconciliation could work out successfully. Both of you have to bring a new version of yourself back to the table. That's not Rich Lopp's little theory. That is a universal law. It's called the law of frequency equalization. The frequency in which you vibrate when you come together with someone is the energy that's going to manifest between the two of you. right? That's the way it works. And if we both come together, and all it takes is one person bringing the same energy back to the connection that they walked away with, it's going to repeat the cycle. It show the fuck is. It show the fuck is. So just, I guess, take that, do with it what you will, and handle it how you want. Not going to tell you what to do. But reconciliation is possible. The question is, I guess, is it worth the chance of possibly repeating the cycle? And that's for you to answer. I'm not here to say that it is or it's not. You answer that to yourself. All right? All right, let's see what's new that is due to come in for the singles. What's due to come in for the singles? Do do do. Ooh, Ace of Cups. That looks like something new coming in to me. Knight of Cups reversed, though. Why does that shit, man? Ace of Cups upright, Knight of Cups reversed. Back and forth. There's one thing I can't stand reading, and that's back and forth bullshit. What I'm thinking is happening, though, is that you're meeting somebody that you're going to feel a really intense connection with, like almost straight off the bat. Now, another thing I'm seeing here is a really strong feeling of what I like to call soul recognition. You've probably felt it before. Most people have. That feeling where you recognize someone that you've never seen. That feeling that you've known someone for your whole life that you just met. I call that soul recognition. That's what I call it. And basically all it means is that for some reason, you and this person connecting triggers either pre-birth or past life memories. One of the two. One of the two. Pre-birth or past life memories. So it can be a really scary feeling. It can be a really intense feeling. Usually when that happens, at least one person throws their guard up because it's scary. It's like, why the fuck does this feel so intense like this? You know? It can be scary as hell. And see, Page of Cups upright, Knight of Cups reversed. So there could be one, the other, or both of you feeling a little bit nervous about this. So you could be experiencing maybe some mixed signals, and it's mainly because somebody here is trying to keep this connection under control. You know, I don't know who that would be. I wouldn't imagine that would be you, would it? I wouldn't think. King of Swords reversed. Let's just see their true intentions. Are they a good person? Or are they a little sack of shit? What are their true intentions? Death card. Oh, they're scared, see? That's what I figured. This connection scares them. At the time you all connect, when you all very first come together, meeting someone and finding a life partner isn't at the top of their priority list. They may even be at a place in their life where they just want to be single. Like maybe whenever their last relationship came to an end, they said, fuck it, I'm just going to focus on me. And that's always when you meet somebody like that, isn't it? They got trust issues. I think they were fucked over very badly. Like badly. You know, so they're at a place where they're finally saying, I just want to be single. I'm just going to focus on me. I'm going to stay in my own lane. I'm going to focus on my goals. I'm just going to do me. Then they meet you. And the feeling is intense. Scares the ever-loving fuck out of them. And they're like, oh my God, holy shit. So for those of you, when you end up connecting with this person, the mixed signals that you're feeling is because this connection scares the shit out of them. They weren't ready for a connection this strong. Now, again, when I read intentions, the main reason I'm doing that is to give you the information that can help you make the most well-informed decision as to whether or not you're going to put up with this kind of behavior. I'm not telling you that you should or you shouldn't. It's totally up to you. Because we all draw that line in a different place as to what we're going to put up with and what we're not, you know? So there's some things that I'll let it slide if I know your intentions. You do something that's not so cool, you're acting a little bit off. As long as I know your intentions, I'll let it slide because I know I can understand where you're coming from, you know? But there's also things that fuck your intentions. I don't care. You crossed a line, that's a deal breaker. I don't care what you thought. I don't care where you're coming from. I don't care how you meant it. You crossed the fucking line, you know? Where do we draw that line? That's different for everybody. That's why I read intentions. This person doesn't have bad intentions, but they are filled with fear. Filled with fear. So I guess the question is, do you want to deal with that? Do you want to put up with that? Because they feel it too. They feel the same feeling of soul recognition. They feel like they've known you. They've met you before. They've known you their whole life. They feel it too. But see, they're unhealed. So the defense mechanism and damage control kicks in. Man, the last time I felt a strong-ass connection, I got my heart ripped out. I just made the decision to stay in my own lane and heal and start focusing on myself and doing better. And here comes another one of those people. It's probably just going to rip my fucking heart out again and tear me to pieces again. I'm scared. I got my guard up. Let's get the advice. What advice do we have for Aries? Ooh, look what fell out of the deck. Uh-oh, Seven of Swords. Okay. Seven of Swords reverse came out in the last spread, too. Hang on a second. I think I know where this is going. Two more. Ten of Cups reversed. Okay, so here's what you got to be careful of. Like I said, this person has trust issues. They don't have bad intentions when you all first come together. They just have serious trust issues. Now, there's a point when two people connect. Any two people, friends, lovers, where, of course, we're going to have our guard up a little bit. That's kind of normal and natural. And the more time we spend around each other, the longer we're connected, that guard should start to come down. Right? You're not going to know somebody like the back of your hand immediately. And as time passes, it's kind of this unspoken thing where the guard comes down more. I let you in more. You let me in more. We get to know each other a little bit better. But if at any point in time that guard stops coming down, eventually it's going to cross a timeline where I have one or two choices. Either I let my guard the rest of the way down and let you in, or I start lying to you. Because there's a block of time in the beginning where keeping things to myself is appropriate if we don't know each other that well. But once we pass that block of time, me keeping certain things to myself is inappropriate. You should know me better than that by now. And if you don't, either the lens through which you view the world is so cracked and broken that you're not capable of picking up what I'm putting down, or I'm not being honest with you, right? So that's what you want to look out for. Like I always default back to feel it out. Feel it out. Feel it out. If it feels confusing, after the first month, you better dedicate that second month to clearing up any confusion. When I say confusion, I'm talking about confusion regarding feelings, intentions, or loyalty. That's what I'm talking about. Feelings, intentions, or loyalty. After 60 days. And when I say 60 days, I'm being generous as shit. You know that, right? All it takes is 30 fucking days. I just throw that extra month in there because there's always exceptions, you know, and I just want to be fair to everyone and leave room for exceptions and margin of error. That's why I throw the second month in there. I've never seen any evidence to support, though, that if you're confused about someone's feelings and intentions after 30 days, and especially 60 days, you don't know how somebody feels about you after 60 days, you're never going to know. You're never going to know. Best case scenario, you're going to have this annoying little voice of doubt in the back of your mind. And there's always going to be a little bit of an energetic blockage between the two of you. You're always going to be kind of second guessing what they're saying and what they're doing. And all that does is build over time. If that doubt is in there, it's just going to build and build and build and build. And then eventually, pow! So feel this shit out. Do the best you can to let this person know that when you're with me, you can open up to me, dude. You can open up. I'm not here to judge you. I'm a fucked up human too. Ain't none of us a regular ass human that's, just glowing and floating on a cloud. We're all fucked up, dude. All of us are. So you know what? I'm going to go first. I'm going to let my guard down. I'm going to start letting you in on who I am. Honestly, right? Yes, I know there's a lot of people out there that pretend they're a perfect human. They're fucking idiots. Stay away from them. I'm going to let you in on who I am. Am I taking a chance? Yeah. Fuck yeah, I am. Could you take advantage of that? Oh, yeah, you could. But if I feel like this connection is worth it, then I'm going to go ahead and do that. If you decide to fuck me over, you're the idiot. So feel this out. Don't let confusion string on for too terribly long. Give it some time, but after a couple of months, don't let it string on much further than that, okay? And another thing too, don't tell somebody that they have a time frame. Don't do that. Don't do that. I had a client the other day that came to me for a reading and said something to the effect of, I'm probably butchering this, but it was something like, we've been dating for 2 months and, he's sending me mixed signals and I can't tell where I stand with him. And I finally told him that there's a deadline in which I want him to make a decision by this date. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because if somebody's stringing you along, that either means that there's something that they don't want to lose access to or something that they're trying to gain access to. But they're not trying to have a relationship. So you don't want to threaten to take something away from someone that they don't want to lose access to. Right? It's not uncommon for someone to get in a relationship they don't want to be in so that they won't lose access to whatever it is that they have access to. You do not want somebody to agree to be in a relationship with you just so they won't lose access to something. That's called they're using you, right? You set that intention in your mind. Say it to the universe quietly. All right, universe, I'm going to give this 1 month. 1 month from today. If you really want this person in my life, you will clear up all fucking confusion. If not, if I'm still just as or more confused, I'm backing away from this. All right, y'all, I feel like those were the messages that my Aries family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, information for personal readings is all down here in the description. All right? I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity.